Dear students, good evening. Welcome to Law Excellence IAS. Let us do the discussion for 23rd September 2022. The first article is, a census is not about counting sheep. Once in every 10 years, the government of India collects the census data. In this context, census has clear utility for the government and also for the development. Let us examine that. If you see, any decisions have to be made, these have to be based on some scientific validation. And the data is critical for this scientific validation. We also identify many problems. We find solutions to them by understanding the patterns. In this case, 1961-71, between these years, there is fall in sex ratio, dramatic fall in sex ratio. The government was able to wake up to this problem and took the necessary corrective steps. And today, reservations, the concerns of social justice, this also been solved based on population or proportion to the population, the reservations are provided. And if you see, after every decade, the constituencies have to be reorganized. The population is also the basis for this. So, the census have lot of utility for India. And further to this, as I said to you, certain propaganda or myths are being spread by the political parties for their vested interests. If you carefully observe, the population bearing of Muslims is said to be more, and they are cited as reason for population explosion. But statistically observed, the poor people among all the religions have more or less equal size of childbearing. That critically says that the population or the number of children a reproductively active couple hold is more an economic issue than a religious issue. So like this, comparative studies, how we were yesterday, how we were today. So how the economic progress has happened over years, how various social problems have solved, how various steps have changed the society. All these can be studied. These are called temporal studies. We can do that on the basis of census. So that's why census were very critical for progress and development of this country. In this scenario, the article also talks about certain aspects which are dangerous to the privacy of the citizens. One is, the government is collecting the data by amending the criminal procedure law. In this context, any accused imprisoned person shall give his DNA or samples when demanded for. Second, the personal data protection law, the government is less serious about it. In this context, the government, which is so interested in taking every data from the citizen, is not willing to collect the census, which there is a legal necessity on the part of the government. So the census are protected by law. In this context, the author demands census to be conducted immediately. And National Population Register, and then we also have Citizenship Amendment Act. So National Population Register, National Citizen Register, these two are two different things. The census are different things. So you need to be very careful to differentiate this from each other. Internal democracy. So I have also collected another article with this. Should the Election Commission of India insist on internal or inner party elections? The Congress is going through inner party elections, and most of the political parties in India, what is the nature? They are family fiefdoms. Second, high command politics exists among them. Most of these are managed by the upper caste individuals, and added to that, men dominant in the political parties. And the major reason for all these problems is lack of inner democracy in the political parties or internal democracy in the political parties. This article critically talks about YSRCP, which has declared Mr. Jagan Mohan Reddy as a lifetime president. So lifetime president, these kind of things kill the inner party democracy. So charismatic leadership, family fiefdoms have to be killed, and multi-party democracy, if it has to survive, internal democracy is critical. In this case, certain election reforms which are being suggested in this article are inner party democracy. It encourages internal debate. Merit will be promoted, and new leadership can emerge because upward mobility is possible for the people who are starting at the bottom of the ladder. And second, high command culture. As the leadership is coming from the bottom, high command culture can be arrested. The familial politics and dynasty politics, family fiefdoms, everything can be arrested if you can strengthen the inner party democracy. And constitution and political parties, if we observe, India is a multi-party democracy. In this case, the constitution talks about the political parties only as part of the anti-defection law. Other than that, it has no mention of political parties. If you see the Election Commission of India, the powers of Election Commission of India regarding political parties are very limited. They end with registration of political party and allocation of the symbols. In this context, there is no comprehensive law regulating the working of the political parties in India. The inner party democracy is promoted by the Election Commission through an executive notice, just through reminders. In this case, a strong law is necessary to strengthen the Election Commission of India to promote the inner party democracy. And what are the various mechanisms we have? If you go to United States of America, the primaries are there. Now, last month we saw in UK how the Conservative Party has contacted its registered voters in electing its Prime Minister. So these are all the strengths of the inner party democracy. We can quote them as answers. So as a deviation, the lifetime presidents are dangerous. And charismatic politics, politics of darshan, these kind of things have to be avoided, and we have to give space for inner party democracy. And one more recommendation given by S.Y. Qureshi, the former Chief Election Commissioner, is this: the state funding of political parties shall be encouraged. Next is managing sports. Let us try to understand this. Sports associations in India, which are also the administering bodies of that sports, they suffer from various kinds of ills or illness. The first is they are unprofessional in their management. Most of these sports bodies are headed by political leaders and they are considered as family fiefdoms. These people are unprofessional. They do not have the knowledge of the sport. Let us take BCCI, is headed by Jai Shah. So this is an important post which is connected to the politics. Second, Indian Olympic Association, it is also politically influencing post. So that's why politics have to be separated from the sports entities. So the sportsman professional management is necessary for the sports bodies today. And second, the National Sports Development Code is being brought in 2011. All these have to be followed. And across the world, the sports association leadership comes into existence through elections. Today, court-appointed administrators are running most of the sports associations. In India, we have to make these elections regular and ensure change of leadership in the sports agencies from time to time. So, for plus one advantage, note one point over here. International Olympics Committee threatened to throw or de-recognize Indian Olympic Association. The reason stated is the elections were not conducted to Indian Olympic Association. So these are the points which you need to understand. Tomorrow I am traveling. So what I will do is, without face, I will do an iPad based video. So request you to adjust for it. And by Sunday, I will be going to Bangalore. In Bangalore, in the studio there, I will do the video. And we are going to reorganize all this content. So let's take sports related content, elections related content. We are going to prepare my handwritten notes, and we will also give you consolidated videos on those topics once in a month. So we are going to release that as a booklet to our students. Thank you very much.